Hello and welcome to the Friday Dev Stream. This is our stream where we try to be educational and whatnot. Today we've got Remix again. Remix, say hi.
Welcome to the Friday Dev Stream.
Yeah, if you don't know, Remix is of course the announcer guy for Brawlhalla. He does a whole lot of other stuff, but most famously the announcer guy. Is my mic doing stuff? I'm seeing people. What's wrong with my mic? Or are you just saying my mic? I don't know. Chat, tell me if my mic does weird stuff. Oh, my mic is low. Okay. Apologies. This happens every time right before stream starts. It just drops. Oh, it actually straight up did. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Okay.
I hear it better. It's pumped up.
All right, cool. Okay, so what's going on today? Today we're going to be going over, again, some of the initial stuff of somebody who is getting into Brawlhalla. Of course, Remix has been with the game for a fair amount of time, but maybe hasn't spent that much time playing, although it sounds like from our conversations that you've been playing a whole lot more as we've been doing more of these Friday streams. Is that an accurate assessment?
That is accurate. I've been given homework assignments, and I have been completing them. So
that's awesome. Okay, so I think before we get into some gameplay, some like rehashing of stuff, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we talked about before stream. You had a question about Elo and stuff. We'll get into that because maybe we'll have time to get you into a rank game. But you asked a little bit about so your son plays a lot of other competitive video games which have their own Elo systems, and some of them have an Elo system where, like, when you're about to get to the next tier, there's like a couple of things, like a couple of qualifications to get to the next tier, things like that. I'll to answer your question, Brawlhalla is a little bit more fluid than that. If you hit enough Elo, like if your Elo value is enough to get to the next rank, so if you're going from silver to gold, you go up into gold. You go from silver 5 to gold 1, and where that kind of padding, I guess is the best way to describe it, comes into play is in the reverse. So if you hit up into gold 1 and then maybe you start struggling a little bit, you start dropping down, then there's a little bit of a pad room where you're in gold 0, where it's about the same like number value as silver 5, but you're still technically in gold. So that's where you'll see that padding that I think you were kind of asking about.
that makes sense. Cool.
Second question. You were talking a little bit about your because you're starting to play ranked now. You're talking a little bit about your for lack of a better term, ranked ritual before you get into your ranked games. Do you want to describe what you do before you finally go and play ranked?
Well, I start out first in practice, just with the list. I have a little list. I'm like, okay, remember these moves, and I'm getting them down where I really no longer have to look at the list. But I go in there with a hard bot, just whichever one gets served up, and play around the match until they're like, -6, -9, and I'm up 20, something like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm warmed up. I'm feeling this. Then I jump in some free-for-alls, do 3 or 4 of those. And I'm just like, okay, I don't want to be last. And then I want to have, at least the second damage. And then when I'm like, okay, I've won a couple of those or ended up second or done more damage than anyone, I'm like, all right, let's jump in and do a ranked. And then usually I'll do 1 or 2 of those, and at least keep going back during that session until I at least win a ranked. That's been my ritual, I guess we'll call it.
And you do all that once you've, I guess, checked all those boxes. That's when you're finally willing to go into a ranked game. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then I guess my one last question before I kind of give a response is that all for nerves? Is that just like something that makes you feel like you're ready to play ranked, or is that something that like you feel like you need to do, or else you won't do well in ranked, or is that just like you just kind of feel like doing these things to make sure you're warmed up and that you have a decent grasp of what you're going to be doing?
Yeah, it's a warm up just to make sure that I've got the muscle memory down, and also I try to maybe pay attention and learn, an extra, down air or whatever, just to work on those basics again, just to make sure I'm hitting them and understanding. Because I've just been playing Koji. I'm like, let me just learn one character, but to understand where do these things actually land, to reinforce that before I throw myself to the wolves.
Okay, good. When you were telling it to me about your kind of pre-ranked ritual, I was getting a little nervous because this is something that I think a lot of people go through. Is a ranked anxiety a very real thing? Egg Soup and I had a really long, extensive chat on one of these Friday streams where we talk about like ranked anxiety, competitive anxiety, all that stuff. And during that conversation, we talked about a pre-ranked ritual that people will sometimes have, which is like they have to play like they have to go into experimental queue and they have to win 3 experimental games before they're comfortable playing ranked, things like that, that in the immediate make them feel more comfortable, make them feel like they're going to do better in ranked. But to a degree, it can kind of be self-fulfilling, I guess. I don't know. Egg is very much better. Wow, I'm really bad at talking. Egg is really good at explaining kind of the mental things that happen with that and how it can sometimes be a negative to do all of this really extensive pre-ranked ritual just to make yourself feel comfortable before you go into ranked. It doesn't sound like that's the case with you, so I'm not going to harp on it too much, but it is something I kind of wanted to bring up as like a potential concern, is that like you have this really long ritual before you go into ranked, and if you don't do well in ranked, then you start going, okay, maybe my ritual wasn't right, or maybe I need to add more to my ritual. Maybe I need to win 3 free-for-alls before I go in. And it just kind of builds and builds and builds to like create this thing where if you don't do X, Y, Z before you go into ranked, then you're not going to feel good, and you're going to have all these concerns and things like that. And so that's why I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
I can understand that. I can see where that could become an OCD superstitious thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, if I don't win 3 exactly like this, and, you know, one of them has to be with, you know, I only got knocked out once or whatever. Yeah, I could see where you could go down that road. So no, it is not anything to do. It's just me being warmed up, making sure. All right, I feel like I you know, can smack someone around.
Good. That's what I like to hear. I think there was one other thing that we talked about that I wanted to bring up, but honestly I can't remember what it was. Do you happen to remember?
I said so many things.
I know. We had
so many.
Nice chat. All right. Well,
I do not.
Okay.
If I think of it, I'll let you know. But it was also, hey, where are the lines that you cross for the different tiers in ranked?
Yeah. We can look up. I can tell you the raw numbers, and we can look up your ranking specifically. Hold on. Because I never remember what the ranking tiers are off the top of my head. Let me see.
I will say this: you start out with 1,200, and I immediately plummeted down to 1130 or so, and I was like, okay, I gotta practice some more. This isn't, not everybody down here is as noobish as me. So, you know, there were some really good players who actually had less than me in some cases. So I was like, okay, it's just nothing's gonna be easy. I gotta do the work. Gotta get my chops down. But then I've been swinging back. I think I was 1170 or something. But I've been playing on the PC and also on the PlayStation platform, and I think they're neck and neck. So I believe that also shows, you know, I'm well matched to myself right now.
You feel like your ELO is accurate.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mic went low again for some reason. All right. I was a little bit nervous, honestly. I was gonna try to hold off on getting you into ranked, just to like make sure you had a couple more tools under your belt before you got into it. But you dove in head first, and that's totally fine. We can totally work with that. But what I want to get you doing is a couple more drills, things to practice on your Koji, and then if you're ready and willing, we'll get you into rank game. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay. Let's get you over here. I think one other thing is that you can you join off me on your friends list?
Let me see here.
One other thing that happened is you switched to controller. You used to be a keyboard player, and then you've made the switch to controller because, like you said, you've been playing on console and PC. So that's
now I cannot join on the friends list.
Okay.
So you got him.
I'll make a new one, and I'll see if I can invite you. All right, I'm gonna whisper you this room number. Okay.
All right. This is the exciting part of the stream.
This is the part
People
where
are like,
we remember how
"Oh."
to do UI again.
Yeah.
Cool. We are in here. All right, so go ahead and hop in on the Koji. I'll go over some controller stuff, and then we'll just get you some warm-ups to do. Remix's room looks sick. Yeah, I'm very jealous of all this stuff. It's hilarious. We'll point out a thing in the background of his room, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I picked that up from the grocery store for $100 because they didn't know what to do with it."
That's right.
I'm always jealous. Okay, so let's go over controls real quick. I'm going to press start, go to controls, go down to PS4 because that's the controller we're using. Okay, and so I personally, I run default. I've seen some other stuff that people do where like they want all the throw buttons on their left hand, all the dodge buttons on their right hand, or what have you. I play default personally.
Yep, me too. Everything looks exactly like that on mine.
Okay, yeah. So I was going to say turn off up to jump because I think that usually trips up a lot of people, and turn off quick attack pickup. Those are like the two biggest things. Improved sticks is one that I don't think is very intuitive to understand, but the easiest way to know to have a grasp of improved sticks is that with improved sticks, it's not true vertical is vertical, true horizontal is horizontal. It's like it takes into account kind of the angle that your average hand would have when holding the stick, and knowing like basically we a long time ago asked a bunch of people to give us their inputs and show us, hey, when you're trying to do a neutral input, what does your stick look like? When you're trying to do a left input, what does your stick look like? Things like that. And then we put it all in and we're like, okay, it compensates so that what most people generally are trying to do a left input is what will actually be read as a left input. If you're having trouble with your inputs, maybe try turning off improved sticks and see if maybe that's where it's going wrong. But this is supposed to be better for more people. So just
gotcha.
To clarify.
That makes sense. I wondered what that was. I actually use all D-pad all the time.
I do too. I actually definitely I'm a D-pad player. Okay, so you actually showed me a VOD of one of your matches, and I'm not gonna lie, your sword very weak.
Yeah.
You do a lot of this. You do a lot of this, and that's okay. It does have a lot of vertical priority, so if your opponent's jumping a lot, that's really good. Or it's not really good. It's okay. But what I want you to do, if you remember last time, practice these dash neutral lights. Oopsies.
Right. Yeah, I think I was doing dash side lights.
Yeah. So you want to practice those, and that'll be really, really helpful. Oh, I should have added more stocks to the bot. Whoopsies. That'll be really helpful because, like, I know you were playing twos last week. That's something that's really, really useful in the two space for sword players, is to be able to get in position and throw out that neutral light. Okay. Over here, I'm actually struggling myself, but there you go. So some dash neutral lights. But one thing I really want you to do is practice your sword combos. Okay. So downlight side air. Do you remember this one?
Oops. Yeah.
So it's gonna be new muscle memory for you because obviously you learned it on keyboard. But the things to note with for controller for doing these inputs is you can press the jump and attack button at the same time. So if you just hold right and you press the jump and attack button at the same time, then you can just do a jumping side air, right? Kind of same thing. And that's really useful because you do that right after this downlight. We're gonna have to kill off the bot, unfortunately. But I do want you to practice that again, is getting some downlight side airs. So you're not hitting the jump button, is what's happening here.
Yeah, I think there is a little timing issue to it, but oops.
All right, you got one. Oh, whatever. Actually, wait. Why don't I just let you hit me? I'm crazy. I didn't think through how we were gonna beat each other up. Okay, let's get swords again. Go ahead and practice your dash neutral lights on the ground there. Okay. So let's see. Can you do 3 down light side airs on me? Okay. So you're not getting the side input is one of the issues.
Yeah, I'm not. Yep.
Oh, you don't even need to press the dodge button.
Right. I know.
All right, let's practice some jumping stairs again. Okay, so go to your side and just do some jumping side airs. Okay. Some jumping side airs. And then a thing like this is gonna be more valuable for you later, but like you don't have to hold left or you don't have to hold the side input the whole time. Like okay, so this is me holding left, right? So I go very far forward versus like tapping it and then pulling back with it. You can see like I can drift further away after I start the input. So
Okay.
that's going to be helpful for spacing once you get a better feel for this. But yeah, just practice some jumping siders. If you can do like 5 jumping siders in a row. Okay.
This is why it's esports. This is exercise.
Yeah, there's muscle memory to it. All right.
There is.
Now can you do a downlight sider? So you just do that downlight input, and then you do that same thing. There you go. There you go. 2 more. All right. So I will tell you, you are a little bit delayed on your input. Remember? Do you remember the buffering thing that we talked about?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah. Sometimes when I press it, I'm not even... You see when he just shakes forward like that? That's me pressing all 3 of those, so I'm doing something weird.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very lost on what you're trying to do right now. I was
Just trying to
see if
do
I can
downlight
understand.
side air.
Okay.
I'm trying to do downlight side air. But did you see that right there when I did not do the side air?
Oh, that's because you're still in your recovery frames of a missed downlight. Okay. So I actually heard you input the side air. So I guess we'll get into some nitty gritty for a hot minute. All moves have 3 things: startup frames, active frames, recovery frames. So your startup is everything before your attack comes out. So do a neutral light. Yeah. So there's
light.
Yeah. So you see there's a little bit of a pause between your input and then when your character starts slashing. When your character's slashing, that's the active frames. And then when your character is done slashing and trying to go back to putting the sword away, that is your recovery frames. And so what is happening, which is what you're describing, is you were doing a downlight input and then you were stuck in recovery frames while you're trying to put in the side air input, which is why you're not getting anything happen, right? Like you're doing the downlight and you're like, okay, I did the slash, but why can't I move? It's because you're in recovery frames. A lot of moves, it's generally speaking, not universal, but generally speaking, there's less recovery frames when you hit the opponent.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
That's why if you want to practice a downlight side air, then you should be hitting an opponent. Versus like if you're doing it without hitting an opponent, the way that we were practicing like the bowstring, then it's gonna feel weird because you're gonna catch yourself in recovery frames where you wouldn't on a hit.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I know that was like relatively technical, but hopefully it helps explain a lot.
Player 3 wins.
It does. Every little bit.
Okay. Let me do some setting stuff so that we're not. Okay.
Koji.
Go ahead and lock in the Koji again. I think honestly, I think your bow is in a reasonable enough space. Let's put a mammoth actually. I don't think your bow is like amazing by any means, but I think with your bow currently, you could probably get higher elo. Like honestly, looking at that the replay that you gave me, if you had only played bow, I think you'd be fine. But I don't want you to be a bow one trick. I want you to be a well-rounded player.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to do, is not just stick with one thing. Practice it all.
Very commendable. Okay. Go ahead and grab a sword if you can. And then I want you to practice doing some D-light side airs again on this. So I'm gonna try dodging this time. Whoop.
Oops.
You got a good input. Maybe I'm just really slow on dodging. I don't know. But your D-Light siders are looking all right. Do you remember D-Light recovery?
Yes, like that, but
Yes,
make sure
but
I'm
no
under.
jump on the recovery.
Oh, wait. So recovery is a heavy. What is?
So recovery is the
No
heavy button in
jump.
the air. Yeah. So you're doing
Just got to be in. You said no jump.
Yeah.
Is it true to be in the air? I have to jump.
No. So the
Oh, I
D-Light,
see.
D-Light
When
puts you
I'm-
in the air.
Okay, so it's for free.
Yeah. So you just mash the recovery button after that. But you have to remember you have to aim it at the opponent.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay.
You dropped it, but you have the inputs.
I dropped what?
You dropped the recovery. So
Okay.
I guess again we'll get technical. Recovery is a multi-hit move. So you can pick it up along that kind of spinning path, but you can also drop it, which is to say that you're picking them up, you had them in the hit stun, and then you swerved out of the path so that they just kind of fell out, and you didn't get that huge force dump, which is the knockout. So with how damaged I am here on Diamond Head, you should be able to knock out if you do a downlight recovery properly.
Right. Oh, do it properly. Got it. Nope. Sorry.
You're fine. There you go, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to practice those three things real quick. Do a dash neutral light, do a downlight side air, and then do a downlight recovery. All right.
Oops. All right. Is that right?
No.
Hold on. Down. Oh wait, dash neutral. Sorry.
Okay. Then dash downlight side air.
Oh, I thought you were saying to do them in a string.
Oh no. This is just three separate things that I want to
Okay.
make sure that you have under your toolkit.
Okay.
All right. Just need to do a downlight side air.
Downlight side air.
Nope.
Sorry.
You're okay.
Downlight side air.
Once you practice these more, you won't have to think as much. Because I can totally tell right now you're like, okay, what's the side air again?
Right.
Gotta do
Yeah.
this.
Yes, that is true. That is why I practice.
Right. You're still doing recovery.
Hold on. Yep, I know. That one.
No, that's an air.
I know. Downlight side air. That's what we're looking for.
There it is.
There it was,
You gotta
but
hit it.
just gotta hit it.
There you go.
Okay.
So
All
those
right.
are those are three that I want you to practice. Those are gonna be really, really useful. The last thing I want you to practice before we get into ranked is I think you may or may not have noticed this, but you'll find an opponent who will do this, right? They'll just be over here.
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
like, what do I do? What do I do? So there's two things that you have. With Koji, you can just do this. It works pretty well. Decent active frames. But
Right.
what I would rather you do is practice something like this. There's a dash jump there. Okay? So to do that, you do a dash input, a jump input, and then you're doing your jump and your neutral air at the same time. Okay?
Oops.
I just want you to practice, yeah. Do a dash before you, dash into your jump attacks. Yeah.
Also, Josh gave me a good pointer last week. Oops, hold on. Where he said instead of doing when I'm up in the air, instead of doing, a down like that, to
Yeah.
just do a down light instead of heavy, because I think he said when you hit the ground, you're locked there for a little bit. Versus that, it's much faster.
Yeah.
And that was a really good tip.
Yeah, I honestly haven't seen you do a lot of that. But yeah, a general rule of thumb is you don't want to be ground pounding towards the stage like this. Because like you said, you are locked in place. Also, like in general, it's just kind of very obvious. Like you're way up here, you're coming down. You're like,
Exactly.
this is just very obvious. Whereas this, like you have a lot of, you can kind of drift around with it, you know. So yeah, that's gonna be really useful. I think you have some decent tools here. If you can do a couple more downlight side airs, downlight neutral lights, and if you can do some dash neutral lights, downlight side air, and downlight recovery on your sword, then I think we're ready for ring. I really want to see you hit a downlight recovery right now. Ooh.
Is that it?
You got to drift a little more into it. You see how he's not like getting launched? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. The drift.
Yeah, so you gotta push into it a little more. Actually, I'm remembering one last thing I want you to learn. Throw away the sword. Do you remember your unarmed combos?
Oh. No, I do not.
Okay. We're going back old school. So first one, downlight and air. Okay. So practice the downlight. Same general idea as your sword string, but you're doing just a jumping nair this time instead of a jumping side air.
Downlight nair.
This one you have to jump for, and nair is your light attack without a direction.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. That's a good one. All right. One more time. Oops.
Jump.
There you go. Okay. And then last one I want you to practice is downlight recovery. Okay. So same idea. This time you have to jump. Whoopsies. Wow.
Okay. Wait. Downlight.
So it's similar to the sword. This time you have to jump.
Okay.
Because this downlight doesn't pop you up. There you go. Okay. So those are going to be some really, really useful tools. Because, I mean, as I'm sure you've surmised at this point, you're not always going to have a weapon. There are going to be people who are going to deny you that weapon. So just make sure you're doing that. Once you're feeling comfortable, we'll get you some downlight dare combos, some downlight dare strings and stuff like that. Because those are super fun to do. But until then, are you ready? Do you think you're ready for some ring?
Ready to get it's right out the window as soon as I start playing for real.
Oh yeah, I mean, is that you get it into your muscle memory? Silver, gold, platinum, diamond. So I'm showing the room number. Oh goodness. 1086 is where you. Okay, so someone directly in your ear telling you what to do. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, wow. That 3-piece.
That's how you do that. I'm attracted to shiny things.
Yeah, no, that's
Apparently.
fair. That's fair.
Gosh. Like that.
Okay. All right, so he's pretty red. You should go for those downlight recoveries again.
Oops.
It's okay. Cloudy, I know. The second I saw this map, I was like, oh, we need to change some settings. All right, so he's actually red enough that I would not fault you for pressing some heavy buttons just on their own.
Yeah.
Just try a side sig.
But aimed at him.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Oh, good try.
Finally. One.
Okay.
At least I didn't get shut out.
Yeah. You're fine. You're fine. This is good. There's still a lot to learn. There's a lot that we can do.
Yikes.
You're okay. Okay. That's fine.
Player 1 wins.
Okay.
That is my loss emote right there. And for a while, I'm just gonna be doing that.
Face palm a little bit. No, that's fine. Okay. So, first things first, let's go back to the ranked lobby. And then I want you to go into your settings in the top.
All right.
And then, where is it? I believe in here there should be something about like tournament maps and
Yes, tournament
gadgets.
maps only.
Okay, so let's turn off gadgets.
All right.
Okay, because now you don't have to worry about running into mines. Okay, simple as that.
Right. It is ban gadgets is now set to on.
Yeah, and then let's do some tournament maps only. It'll shrink the pool of maps that you play in. But you won't get maps that like can be a little bit wonky if you're not ready for it. So let's just go to tournament 1v1 maps. That's usually what people do, but it is what it is. Okay, you good?
I'm good.
All right. So now, this is something that I don't think you're going to be able to adjust to immediately, but I'm going to tell you this just so that you can kind of keep it in the back of your head, and then maybe if you want to like write it down as something to like work on. You don't know your bow downlight spacing, which is it's like I'm not gonna fault you. You've played like 5 games. It's not that big of a deal, but that's just a thing that you need to work on because it's gonna be really, really valuable. There's a lot of situations where you can go for that downlight and then like your follow-ups after it. It's just you weren't able to get there. One thing that I do think you can do is if you notice that you're hitting the side light, but you're not hitting that downlight afterwards, which started happening towards the tail end, don't go for that downlight. Go for like a neutral light afterwards.
Okay.
Which I hope I'm not overloading you right now because I kind of get the feeling I am. And then you just need to practice your sword. There's not a lot you can do. Like that'll change from here to the next game. But those are like probably the big 3 that I think will help you a lot is learning your spacing on your moves a lot better, and then practicing your sword, and then not going for the immediate follow-ups if it's not going to work.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do the side and then the down, and then they were able to jump over me for the last one, last part of it.
So if you see
Muscle memory, I don't even know what I'm hitting.
no, it's okay. It's good that you have side light, down light, neutral light in your muscle memory because that is why I think your bow is stronger than your sword because you have like no muscle memory on your sword. But it's just a thing that it might fault you a little bit if you only do that muscle memory and don't start making adjustments.
Right.
Okay. Chat. Remix is literally new to the game. If you're coming in here expecting him to be a pro, I don't know what to tell you. The stream title says basics. Like, I try to give y'all reasonable
Playing
expectations.
for real. I've been playing for real for 3 weeks now.
Yeah. He does a lot of audio stuff. You've been in the background for ages, but the whole point is that we're bringing you on here so that you can start learning and so that you can start getting better. Okay. I'll keep watching. Nice. Ooh.
I remember the other thing.
What's the other thing? Oh, wait. Didn't you turn
We
off
talked
gadgets?
Yes, I did.
But you have gadgets.
Yeah. Oh wait, was that their orb?
No, there was a bomb there. We'll go back
Yeah,
to the
there is.
settings after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely gadgets. Watch out. You don't. Oh, you're fine. Oh, actually.
Yep, there are clearly gadgets.
It's okay. I don't know if you know this, but you can throw a weapon at at a mine and it'll explode it.
Yes. Yeah, I wish. What was the down something combo?
Downlight cider. Downlight cider or downlight recovery. Those are the two that you need to be practicing. That's all you try. That's okay. Nice.
I found myself trying to be honorable in these matches and say, "Hey, come get a weapon," you know.
Yeah, I remember this is the other thing that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such good spacing, unintentionally.
Ah.
You're okay. This is still very winnable for you. Nice. See, I do like your bow. Is my camera frozen? No, I was just stuck watching. Okay. See, I think your bow's solid. Chat likes your bow as well. All right, let's talk real quick.
All right.
So I'm gonna give you some words of praise because I think you did some good stuff there. Obviously, your bow, very clean. Well, okay, not very clean, but
Yeah.
better.
It's improved.
Yeah, for sure. I think two things if you want to work on your bow a little bit more is mixing up what you're doing out of the downlight. I showed you downlight neutral air and downlight recovery as two other options, but it's totally okay that you're doing downlight neutral light only right now. I just want you to practice other things going forward.
Right.
Because you're eventually going to hit a wall, and eventually you're going to want to bring that in.
Yes.
Also, I want to commend you on your spacing. I don't think you were doing this intentionally so much, but the Petra was doing a lot of down and side sigs on her gauntlets, which are very horizontal, low to the ground sigs, and you were doing a really good job of outspacing it and jumping over it. Again, I don't think you were knowingly doing this, but if you are, it's really good that you're recognizing, oh, this person is doing a horizontal move. Let me get vertical against it. Your punish is
Sometimes
on
I
them.
was, other times it was panic mode.
That's fine.
What, you know.
a lot of people are going to do panic jumps, and that is going to happen. It's going to be something that you're going to want to make sure you don't fall into that too much, and it's something that you're going to want to punish people for. But for now, just recognizing, oh, they're doing a move that goes in this direction, I can get over here and be completely safe, is really, really good. And then, of course, practice your sword stuff again, because you just... Your sword was okay. Actually, I think your sword was better that game because you were hitting your downlights, but you just don't know your follow-ups, or you're not practiced with it. But other than that, like, we can go into the next one. I think again your bow's looking okay.
Cool.
I think we have time for maybe like 2 more games.
Okay.
Chat's liking you. Chat's saying you're too good. Oh, we forgot to turn off gadgets.
Oh, and I swear I had it off before, so that is weird, but hey,
okay.
maybe it got switched right at the last second.
Oh, wait. Remix, what are your settings?
It's what you said, so.
I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying that
No, I know.
the evidence is contrary. If they're playing vertical like that, bow neutralite is really, really good.
Mm.
You can be faster on your downlight input after your bow side light.
Oh.
Try a bow down zig. There you go. After you hit a sword sidelight, just mash a neutralite for now.
Like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Ugh. Well played.
Okay. Okay, so you don't have to recover onto the stage. You can recover into the wall. Remember that walls reset your jumps.
Yep.
Oh, that was a really good down.
See, even after I land all that, I'm like, what do I do now? So I tend to get away from the area.
That's okay. Resetting neutral is totally fine. You got a 3-piece, getting it for free, that's totally fine. You don't always have to keep doing more. I'll tell you some stuff if you want to do more after. Oh, that was nice.
No.
I'm gonna fix some dodge habits already. Oh no.
That was it. I should have got him when he came back down from that.
You're okay. It's not over yet. Oh, okay. Okay.
Good game.
Player 2.
All right. Your bow, again, very commendable. Let's see here. One of the things that really tripped you up. Sorry, what?
I guess I probably did not hit confirm. Now I'm hitting confirm, double checking. The settings are intact. We're good to go for the room.
Wait, so go to your settings. What does it say for
Tournament
gadgets?
maps only on. Ban gadgets on.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So one of the things that really tripped you up is you have a habit of dodging towards your opponent when you get hit. So what would happen is the Mako would hit you with like a neutral light on Katars and then just immediately throw a neutral sig out, and you're just staying in that airspace. Practice dodging away from your opponent, just like getting away. Dodge up and away, dodge down and away. Try just jumping, but just try not dodging straight over your opponent.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably something I don't realize I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I will review the tapes.
Yeah, for sure. If you rewatch your tapes, I think you'll notice that you just kind of were dodging back into the attack. And then, so if you want something to do after your bow neutral light, do a jump recovery, kind of like you do for unarmed, where you press the jump and the recovery button at the same time for the downlight recovery.
All right.
Okay. All right. We got time for one more, and then we'll let him go. I think one of the biggest things that is going to help you a lot is just practice, or is just playing, because there's a lot of stuff that like I just think you don't have the game knowledge of, like you don't fully understand when you should be using your bow downlight, which is like honestly if they're far away just do a bow downlight, and then like you don't really know the signatures of your opponents.
Yes.
Okay, so this person knows about the bow 3-string 3-piece, so just throw out a down sig after you hit a side light.
Oops.
Don't go over the corner. Yeah. The Surreys with guitars love to do that corner stuff, so don't get too close to the corner when they're off stage.
Get your weapon. No? Yeah.
I like the bow neutralites though, I will say. You had some very good bow neutralites. They might be lagging. That's my only guess. Either that or they're weird. Nice.
Jumped into it.
Yeah, so it's very clear your opponent wants to keep doing that that neutral sig. So you just want to stay grounded, do exactly what you're doing, throw out neutral sigs, throw out some sigs with a little bit of height to them. Why did you back away? Don't get too close to the corner when they have guitars. Yeah, keep doing it. If it's working, it's working. Okay.
All right.
All right. You did good.
I did well.
Yeah. This person was struggling with stuff. Well, you did some. You spread good in the world. I'm not being. What did I do that was mean? So I think your bow is, again, it's looking solid. You picked up the jump recovery really quick. It's not gonna hit all the time, which is why I'm like, you don't have to do it, but it is a good pressure tool if you're like, okay, I think I can keep this momentum going. You still need to practice your sword stuff for sure. That's probably like the biggest thing, is practicing that downlight. You're gonna start finding you're more comfortable with hitting that downlight and hitting the follow-up. So like the more you can hit downlight side air, the more you're gonna play around and find, okay, I don't need to keep doing side light. I can just do a dash and get in a position where this downlight is gonna be more effective, which is what I want out of your sword. And then I think that's kind of the big stuff. Is just, again, just going through those drills of those combos are going to give you a lot of help. And then, oh yeah, practice your bow downlights, because you did a really good job this game of hitting just a bow downlight neutral light, which is what I want to see. But just kind of get more in that habit, because there's a lot of situations where I think you can do a bow downlight and you're just like, I don't know the range, so I'm going to run around and not really do anything.
Right.
You might have time for one more. You might have time for one more. You want to do that?
We'll see. And how sad is chat gonna be if we run a minute long? I know they would hate that.
Oh, they're gonna be so upset. Do you know how many
I know.
people want to
Like
leave exactly on the dot?
I know.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very punctual people in chat.
Yep. They have places to be.
Yeah, for sure.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Oops. Ugh.
All right, this is a person that I think you can hit a lot of downlights on. They want to stay grounded and they want to do side sigs. Bow downlight is perfect for this kind of opponent. Remember, you have a lot of range with that bow downlight.
I do. Not that much. I think they disconnected.
Did they? It tells you. It won't tell me if they disconnect.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you can practice your sword combos.
That's right.
After you hit that side light, remember you can either go for a neutral light, you can go for, or you can try going for a neutral sig afterwards. It's not 100% going to work, but it'll help give you something else to do after you hit it.
So what was that right there? That extra, there's extra noise, some extra effects that happened.
Oh, okay. So
Schwack.
yeah, okay. So that's stuffed recovery, which is it's basically information.
Right.
You know what your recovery attack is when you press a heavy button in the air, and that's one of the utility tools for getting back to the stage. And basically what happens when you see that stars and you see that sound, or hear that sound, is that a recovery was stuffed. If the stars come out of you, it means your recovery was stuffed. If it comes out of your opponent, it means their recovery was stuffed. Basically, it means they have less tools to get back to the stage, and it's really, really good for knowing, okay, now I can push my advantage. I can be a little bit more aggressive. So that's what that is. Those stars and that sound is stuff recovering.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Player 1 wins.
All right.
You did good. You did well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna you got me grammared up now.
I didn't mean to grammar it, like even though I know it's correct grammar or whatever, but I did well. I did well enough, but on that other one. But yeah, I have learned so much. It's nice having a personal trainer for this. I must say. So, and I've seen people in chat are also going, "Oh, hey, I didn't know that," and this is helpful. So that's what it's for. I'm glad it's helping.
This is for a lot of people that are maybe they don't know these weapons, or they're still new to the game. Okay, so your homework: practice learning the bow downlight range. There's a lot of different ways you can hit the bow downlight. Practice just doing raw downlights as well as dash downlights to know your ranges. And then your other thing is, you know how you have your pre-ranked ritual with the bots?
Right.
I want you to do sword only for at least 2 of those bots. And then practice those strings. Practice your downlight side airs. Practice your downlight recoveries when they're in red. Practice doing something after hitting the side light. There's a lot of different things you can do after hitting it. Just practice all that different sword stuff. And then lastly is, I don't know, that I feel like 2 is enough, but usually you're supposed to have a list of 3. Just have fun, I guess. I don't know.
Have fun. Right. That's always that's always the last part of it.
Yeah. Last one, have fun.
Yeah.
Go out,
absolutely.
spread joy to the world. I don't know.
That's right.
But you did really well today. You did amazing. I think we're about up on time. We're actually over, so I'm sorry, all you punctual folk out there. You're gonna be late to your next event. But what do you have any parting words? Do you have any questions that you're like, hey, I was feeling this way while I was playing, and I need some tips on like what to do against someone who is doing this, that, and the other?
Yeah. How do I keep my heart rate down while playing? That's about it. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna snap a controller in half or whatever. But I mean, that's just part of it. It's competitive play, and that's what's fun about it. That's the juice.
Yeah. Ranked anxiety is a very real thing. That like intensity is a very real thing. I think if you talk to Cirrus, he'll talk about some of the emotions he'll feel. And we've done a lot to try to help with that. Probably the biggest thing is like when you get heightened, when you get stressed, like you can feel it, your heart rate's up, all that good stuff. You feel like really clenched and whatnot. It's really bad for your gameplay because you want to be thinking. So take a break. That's like probably my biggest thing is step away, maybe play free for all, maybe just like go just breathe, do some yoga, whatever. But that's going to be one of the biggest things to like help you with that is if you're feeling stressed, like you don't need to be. It's a game. You can come back. It'll still be here.
Right. Fair enough.
Okay. I'm gonna close out here. We're gonna raid Pavelski. Remix, I'll let you say any parting words you have to Twitch chat, and then we'll get out of here.
You guys are cool. Everyone's been very kind to me. I love it. This is an awesome community. So having fun.
Someone said, "Do the voice."
Do the voice. How's that?
That was great. Okay. Thank you, chat. We'll see y'all on the next one. Of course, we have streams Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Brawlhalla.com/schedule for all that information. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see y'all on the next stream. Bye.
Later.
Bye.